Hi again. So this one is more of a joint and a body isolation kind of a stretch. So we're just working on very specific elements at a time. So again, normal rules apply. Not every exercise is for everyone. If it feels uncomfortable or painful, stop, or take it back a bit, or modify it for nothing, or jump to the next exercise. Focus on your breathing, try and keep everything calm and everything controlled. And yeah, throw on some music that you like or enjoy. I'll throw in my little Spotify links down below. And yeah, just try and relax into each of your parts. Just going to start with the head. So we're just going to start with gentle shoulder stretch, neck stretch rather. So just leaning to one side, so you're not forcing it. Just let gravity bring one ear to the shoulder. Breathe in. And to the other side. Bring the chin to the chest. Again, just let gravity do its work. Back to the shoulder. Back to the other side. Down to the front. And I'm just going to go turn the head to the right, back to center, to the left, back to center, right, and center, left, and center, right, and center, left, and center. Looking up to the ceiling, down to the front, and then down to the chest. Back to center, up, center, down, center, up, center, down, and just a couple of head rolls, so slowly trying to extend it. Don't worry about rolling it too far to the back, because you don't want to crunch the back of your neck. And keep going. At the end of this rotation, go back the other way. Bring your knee, bring your neck pop a lot. Back to center and do a good work of shoulders. I'm going to try and do is isolate each movement. So I'm going to stand on the side so you can see. What I'm trying to do is focus on pulling up the shoulders, vertically up as straight as possible. So they come out towards the ears and then relax. So you can let them drop quite heavily depending on how comfortable that is for you. So bring them up and drop. 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 Now I want you to think about pulling the shoulders back. So not with your elbows. You're using your shoulders and you're retracting a little bit in the shoulder blades there, so pull back. So shoulder blades come forward. And back to center. Pull back. Back to center. Back. And center. Back. And center. Now think about pushing your shoulders down. They're not going to go very far. So it's pushing them down and relax. Down and relax, down and relax, down and relax. Finish off the round. We're going to pull the shoulders forward. So again, this is not about the arm strength, this is about you trying to move the shoulders in there, in the joint, forward and back. Forward, center. Forward, neutral. Forward, neutral. Forward, neutral. Now we're going to try and hit all 4 points. We're going to bring them up, center, back, center, down, center, forward, center, up, center, back, center, down, center, forward, center, back, up, to back, to down, forward, and up. So we're turning them into circles now, to the back, down, forward, and up, back, down, forward, one last one, up, back, down, forward. We're going to change the order we're doing them, so we're going to go up, centre, forward, centre, down, centre, back, centre, up, and forward, and down to centre, back to centre one more time, up, to forward, to down, to back. And then we're going to start rolling them around themselves, so up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, last one, up, forward, down, back. So the shoulder joint should be nice and warm and releasing. I'm going to do some chest movements, so some of these will feel a bit weird. What we're trying to do is just make sure we're using the upper part of the chest from the rib cage up, not using our hips or our body weight. So what I want you to think about doing is have your knees relaxed, it'll help. Think about pushing your chest forward. So what's happening there is that your spine at the top is pushing forward. So it's kind of coming from the base of the spine here, pushing through. If you tighten up your legs and thighs and squeeze your butt, that'll help keep that stable. Or you push forward and come back to centre. Push forward and neutral. Push forward and neutral. Push forward and neutral. Think about keeping the chest upwards, so not slouching, but forward and relax. I'm going to take it back. So this time it's not about the shoulders coming forward, although they'll feel like it is. You can see that my shoulders are staying pretty much in line with my legs. I'm trying to push back through the curvature of my spine and leave everything else where it is. So back and centre, back and centre, back and centre, back and centre. I'm going to try and do it both ways. So I'm going to go forward, centre, back, centre, forward, centre, back, centre, forward, neutral, back, neutral, forward, neutral, back, neutral. We're going to smooth it out. So forward, through centre, through back, and centre, forward, centre, back, centre, forward, centre, back, and centre. Okay, shake it out. If you've been tensing up your thighs, they'll be a bit tight too. We're now going to do side to side, so if you need to, put your hands crank on your belly so you can feel the base of your ribs. And what I want you to do is think about pushing from this rib out that way. I'm going to push from this rib out that way. So push from this rib, push from this rib. You can see my hips are staying where they are. And what's happening is my ribs, the upper part of my rib cage, is shifting. So you can use your hands to help give you a bit of a prompt, and after a while you'll be able to just take it from side to side, just using that part of your rib cage. Okay, so now I'm going to go front, side, back, side. So front, side, back, side, front, side, back, side. One more front, side, back, side. And now just try and smooth it out. Front, to the side, back, to the side, front, side, back, side, front, side, back, side. I'm going to go the other way. So front, push to the left, back, to the right, front, to the side, back, side, front, side, back, side, front, and around, front, side, back, side, front, side, back, side. Relax. I'm going to do something similar with the hips. So again, I'll stand on the side so hopefully you can see a little bit better. What I'm going to be trying to do is keep your knees bent, everything else fairly neutral, pulling up through the spine. I want you to think about keeping the rib cage where it is and push forward. So squeeze the butt down and under, so it's if you're pushing it underneath, and that's going to bring the belly forward. Then relax. Push it forward. And relax. Push it forward. So you're tilting the pelvis up at the front, coming up that way. Now we're going to try the other way, so I want you to think about don't think about squishing it in here, because that's going to crush that a little bit. I want you to think about pushing back from your belly, so you're tilting the pelvis back. Front, neutral, back, front, neutral, back, neutral, front, neutral, back, neutral, front, neutral, back, neutral. Gonna do some side to sides. So again, try and keep your knees fairly steady. Try not to make it a big leg movement. It's about the hip, so keep your chest where it is, and I want you to think about pushing your hips to the side. So keep your spine where it is, but this hip is now going to push it that way. So you're going to be bending with your one of your knees, the other one's going to go straight at the time. So this one is currently bent, while my hip's out here. The hip that is out, that leg is going to bend, this one's going to straighten, and it's going to push it that side. Keep going from side to side. So just trying to keep everything above that position from moving as much as possible. Now we're going to take that to hip circles. So I'm doing a bit of an angle, so forward, to the side, to the back, to the side. Again, trying to keep your upper body still so it's not moving. This is just going around. The rest of your spine is there, and your hips are just swiveling around a bit like it's mixing, okay? Goes. Big swells coming the other way. So I'm going to go into some ankle and wrist movements. I'm just going to pause this while I move the camera down for you. Okay, so going to be focused on the feet. So you can do this standing if you like, but you can also do this sitting down. I'm doing the sitting version because it's nice and comfy and it gives you a bit of chance to see what I'm actually doing with my feet. So I'm going to start with my right leg. I'm just going to pop it onto my left so you can see what's going on. Just going to do a circle, so try and extend the rotation as far as you possibly can. So it's going around that ankle joint as much as possible. So point it as it comes down, flex it as it comes up. And then go the other way. I'm going to focus on flexing it up towards the knee. And then pointing it down as far away as possible. So we're trying to get a nice long foot. And then curl it up, even the toes, try to curl them up behind you. And point rather. And flex. And extend. And flex. And extend. I'm going to go onto the other ankle now. It's my left leg. Again, I'm just going to focus on those rotations, so nice and big. Come the other way. And flex, and extend, flex, and extend, flex, and extend, flex, and extend, one more, flex, and extend. So again, this bit you can do on the floor. I'm just going to do it on this little footstool so you can see. I'm basically rolling it over. So if I'm here, so just with the ball of the foot on the floor or the chair, what I'm going to do is come up to the point of my toes and then roll it over so that I'm actually stretching this part here. Only go as far as comfortable for you. You can put a little bit of weight on it if you want to give it a bit more of a stretch. And and then come back to the point of the foot and onto the ball. So again, pushing down into it. So now we're getting a bit of a different stretch here. And you can angle it a little bit more if you're comfortable with that. It's entirely up to you. Come back up to the point, so release that weight, and then roll forward again. Come up to the point, and then onto the ball of the foot. One more each way up to the point, over the top. Other side. So again, coming up onto the ball of the foot, come to the toes, and then roll it over. Come to the toes, and then onto the ball of the foot, press it in. Up to the toes, roll it over. Up to the toes, and onto the ball. Onto the toes, and roll it over. Toes and ball of the foot. Okay. And do a little bit of work on the wrists. So starting with just flexion here, so flexing them backwards. If you want to give it a little bit more effort, you can either do it one at a time, pulling back with the fingers, or if you've got the floor or the wall, you can arms straight, roll them back this way. So here, and if you want, you can pull back a little bit to make more of an angle. So again, if my wrists are here and I'm over the top to begin with, I can, depending on my flexibility, roll my angle back a bit. And if you like, you can basically do that. So rolling forward onto more of the palm, and then up, palm and release, palm and release, palm and release, palm and release. One more. I'm going to turn it over. So again, you can just do this by flexing with the other hand, or place it on the ground, fingers towards you. Again, come over the top so you're kind of straight on top of it. And then if you have a bit more flex, you can again pull back. So you're creating more of an angle that way. But this is fine as long as you're getting that stretch along the back of the wrist. And then you can roll into it, so roll over the top, come back, over, back, over, back, over, back, over, back, over, and back. So take a little time there and just gentle rotations of the wrist. Again, try to make them as big a rotation as you can. So you can see I'm actually getting the fingers involved in this as well, curling them in as they come up to the top. And the other way. Like little birds. Whee! Spread your wings. We're just going to do a wrist and a forearm press. So basically putting the hands together here. Get rid of the chair. So hands together here, forearms together. And what you try to do is push and close as if you're trying to squeeze something between the forearms. So try not to let either side give way. So you don't want to kind of that or that. Try and maintain even contact. And so this is helping strengthen up those muscles by creating an active resistance using your own body. So really push. You should be feeling it shake and relax. And go again, push, really squeeze them together, really make them fight for it, for center. I see. And relax. And one more, breathe in and push. And relax. You can also then bring one arm underneath the other. This is a bit hard on this wrap one here. You can kind of flex down, flex up. This is more just to stretch it out more than anything else. Shake out the wrists. Just flash the fingers, so some jazz fingers. It's going to warm up the joint muscles and the fingers. Your phalanges. Dancing phalanges. I can't remember where I saw that one. Dancing phalanges. So the longer you do this, the more warmth you're going to be feeling through your wrist and your fingers. It's even worse if you do this with your hands right above your head, with your arms close to your ears. Everything gets warm very quickly with those arms. So that's quite a nice exercise. All right. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more floor work. Get this one out of the way. I'm going to angle this down slightly so you can see what's going on. So we're going to do some hamstring work. I'm going to start with one leg in front of you. And bring the other one just inside here. The idea is you're creating kind of a 90-degree angle with you facing towards the outside leg. We're focusing on the hamstring, so underneath here. Think about pushing your heel forward. That's going to help bring your toes back, and again, that's going to start the hamstring stretch without you really doing much. From here, just reach forward as far as you can. Doesn't matter if it's up here, down here, or towards the leg. What you're trying to do is increase that stretch underneath there. Don't hunch over. Try and push through so that your back is as flat as possible as you reach down through this leg. Now you can, if you want, use something like a resistance band. I'll just put one out from here. There we go. To help with these stretches. So if you can't reach but you want to increase it, simply put it over there. You can use a towel as well. And just use it to help pull back the heel. And so you can then lean down a little less far, but still get a really good stretch up that hamstring. All right, then go to the other leg. Bring the other one in. Again, push that heel out. If you need to get the resistance band or a towel or whatever you're using, stretch it down and then pull yourself forward towards your leg. So again, should be getting a nice stretch up this hamstring. All right, I'm going to go into what's called the pigeon pose. So if you come onto your knees, bring one foot forward, bring the toe across the body, so it's more like this. And then you're going to stretch the other leg back and stay centered. So you're trying to get your groin or your spine in line with the heel of this bottom foot. So like this, a little bit more. So it's just a long position there. Sit down as far as you can into it. Doesn't matter if you're up a little bit. It's more of a stretch in this leg at the front. If you want to, you can take the toes of the back foot and onto the ball of the toes and then push up. And that's going to give you a bit of a stretch on this leg as well. But you can just stay down flat as well, either is fine. Bring the knee down if it's there. And then bring both legs forward, change them over. So other foot across, spine in line with the ball of that foot. So you may have your foot out directly in front, you may have it closer in, whichever you need. Again, come across to the center. If you want to, use the ball of the back foot to push up the back leg. Relax. We're going to do a little quadricep stretch, so one foot in front, one foot behind. That's kind of like this. What we're trying to do is stretch this quadricep. Now you can either leave it there and you can push through by raising up, or if you're feeling comfortable, you can grab the ankle of that foot and try and pull it in towards your backside. If you want to make it a bit harder for yourself, you can roll onto that knee and bring it up. So the more you can bring it towards the buttocks, the stronger a stretch you'll get along the front here. If you're really feeling it, or you've got really good flex, you can grab it in the crook of your elbow. Make some interesting pretzel shapes. And relax. And change it over. So, foot in, foot to the back. Bring it around towards the back side. If you want, you can prop it up. And if you want to take it further, you can try and get your elbow around the toe. Again, you can do this one sitting down if that's as much of a stretch for you as you like, but here you definitely get an extra stretch. Okay, just going to do a bit of a chest and shoulder stretch. So you're going to come onto the floor, legs out behind you. You're going to put your hands kind of in line with your head, so if you're lying down here. And all we're going to do is we're going to push up against it to raise our chest. Now, if you do have lower back problems, don't go particularly far. This is fine, wherever it takes before you actually feel any pain. But what we're trying to do is push up. So my hips are coming up off the floor, but I'm pushing away from my shoulders so they're not sinking up to my ears. If that's uncomfortable, you can try bringing a little bit closer to the chest, put a bit more support. But again, there's nothing wrong with it being just here and stretching out that lower back. Come back down to the floor. Put your hands beside your chest. I'm going to a little bit so you can see. I've got my feet together, and I'm going to push back. I'm going to open out my knees. So from the side, it's more of a diamond. All I'm going to do is bring my hands forward and stretch out. So this is called child's pose. It's a really nice way to stretch out your back and the top of your arms. And just relax into the floor. So this will be opening up your hip flexors as well. So you'll be feeling it on your inner thigh. When you're ready, just walk it back up. And there you go. So a few different exercises, some mobility ones, and a little bit of a lower body stretch for you as well.